It was an early autumn morning, crisp and clear, the kind where the lake reflected every tree and cloud with mirror-like precision. I had been inspecting my property, ensuring all boundaries and security measures were intact, when a familiar nuisance arrived. Karen number 26, flanked by her usual HOA entourage. She had called in reinforcements, cameras, clipboards, and her trademark self-importance, ready to enforce her imaginary rules. Today's target: me refusing to move into her carefully curated lakefront neighborhood. Apparently, it was a grave offense that I had chosen to keep my property outside her HOA's influence. She marched up the driveway, muttering about neighborhood compliance and community standards, clearly expecting me to cower and comply. I stepped onto the porch, calm but unmistakably firm. "Karen," I said evenly, holding up the deed to my property. "This land is mine. I am under no obligation to comply with HOA rules, requests, or imagined authority. You may step off immediately." Her eyes narrowed. "You think you can just ignore the HOA? We have rules. You'll be fined." I didn't let her finish. I reached into my jacket, revealing my badge. "Actually, I am a certified law enforcement officer," I said, calm but commanding. "A.U.S. Marshal. You are trespassing and attempting to coerce compliance where none is required. Every word, every action is being documented." For a moment, time seemed to slow. Her smugness faltered as her mind processed the reality. She had tried to intimidate someone she assumed was powerless, and she was wrong. Completely wrong. I stepped closer, voice unwavering. "If you do not leave now, I will take immediate action. Local authorities have already been notified to back up lawful enforcement. This ends peacefully or legally, but either way, it ends on my terms." Karen's face shifted from anger to disbelief, then to panic. She had expected compliance or negotiation, not a full display of authority backed by law. Her HOA minions glanced nervously at each other, realizing they had underestimated the situation entirely. She tried to argue, citing vague HOA regulations and neighborhood standards, but I countered every point with precise legal references, documented ownership, and jurisdictional authority. Her arguments crumbled under the weight of fact and law, leaving her visibly shaken. Meanwhile, my daughter and son emerged from the house, standing beside me, calm but ready. Their presence added an unspoken layer of preparedness. This was a family united, legally empowered, and fully capable of defending against intimidation. I gestured toward the driveway cameras, lights flashing as each movement was recorded. "Step off my property immediately," I said once more. "Your HOA has no power here. Every future attempt will be treated as harassment and trespassing." Karen hesitated, mouth opening and closing as she searched for a bluff that would work. None came. Her power, her imagined authority, had evaporated in the face of documentation, preparation, and law. Finally, she backed down, dragging her entourage away in defeat, muttering threats that carried no weight against reality. Later, as the sun rose higher, I walked along the property line, checking cameras, boundaries, and security measures. The lake was calm, the air clear, and the property firmly under my control. The lesson for any HOA overreach was now unmistakable. Authority isn't assumed, and intimidation has consequences when met with preparation, documentation, and lawful power. Karen number 26 had underestimated both me and my family. She had assumed entitlement would suffice, only to collide with law, preparation, and unwavering resolve. Somewhere in her mansion, she undoubtedly replayed the encounter repeatedly, realizing that her imagined authority was meaningless against reality. By evening, the property was quiet, secure, and peaceful. My family could finally enjoy the lake, the trees, and the calm, knowing that we had successfully defended not just land, but dignity, authority, and law.